What's something that's unnecessarily expensive? Ticketmaster's service fees. Edit. Wow. By far my most popular comment ever. Just wanted to edit to say that if you're able, always order your tickets by calling or visiting the performance venue directly. You can avoid a ton of the fees you would otherwise be charged. And the customer service is nearly always several grades better than what you'll get with a faceless entity that really doesn't care about you at all. Edit to obligatory thanks for the silver. Kind Redditor. Ticket busted. Funerals. Costco sells coffins by the way online, and they are much cheaper than what the funeral home is selling them for. Edit. This is one of those good guy Costco things they do. Similar to not raising the prices of their food. A fake they think it's a rip-off what funeral homes charge, and so they offer them online with shipping at a price much lower than what funeral homes charge. By the way, if you've not had to pick a casket yourself, let me tell you a lot of funeral homes' cheapest casket is literally cardboard with fake wood vinyl on the side. It's there as the cheap option, so that you pick the one above it which is more money, of course. Funeral homes have to legally accept outside caskets. Edit. If you want to learn more about the funeral industry or death in general, I highly recommend Ask a Mortician on YouTube. This is state specific. Check your local laws. Edit. I'm wrong. There's a federal FTC law that requires funeral homes to accept outside caskets. Link. The VA is ducking brutal to funeral homes that violate the rules as well. Used to do funeral honors for the army at a very large cemetery, and they straight up blackball a few of them, banning them from the grounds. One funeral home thought they would be funny after this and set the coffin at the gates of the cemetery as some type of bluff. Got 'em. CID and the FBI were called on them. Veterans have a minimum casket that is free that they have to accept. Certain that pisses them off, but funeral homes are an awful business that needs to die off. Chemotherapy. My infusions are $18k a piece. I'm lucky that it's not for cancer, and I only get it twice a year and I have insurance, but like WTF. Do you mind if I ask what it's for? I didn't know chemotherapy was used for other illnesses. I have multiple sclerosis. Graphing calculators. They've been using the same model for 20 plus years, 17 if we are talking a T84, and the prices are ridiculous. Yeehaw, that is because T have the monopoly of being approved for exams at many schools. Very clever marketing strategy, and also complete a shattery to keep doing. Vending machines on the secure side of airports. You can't bring the 2 Coke you bought within line of sight of the checkpoint through because it could be a bomb. You can buy another one once you get past security, however, but now it's 6. The machines are literally within sight of each other. Portland, Oregon Airport PDX recently adopted street pricing for all products. It's nice not feeling hostage to monopoly pricing. Coffins. I built one out of fence pickets for less than $40 a few years back. Looks real cool when you put the strobe light and fog machine in it. I forgot about Halloween for a second and was thinking you had really cool funerals in your family. He didn't reply because he's staring at his computer wondering what the duck Halloween is. Curtains. Curtains are expensive. And rugs. Dude. Duck rug prices. I'm seriously thinking about buying some sad Walmart priced rugs from here on out. No need for fancy stuff that's going to be walked on. I work for a flooring wholesaler and often have to price out custom rugs. Here's a secret: buy your own material and pay a carpet binder to make it into a rug. Rugs are literally just regular carpet with the edges sewn up so they don't unravel. You don't have to go through the dealer. You can find a binder who will deal with you directly. I mark up all my binding jobs 3-4 times, and literally all I do is fill out a form and send it to the binder, who does all the actual work. Things to consider. Most carpet rolls are 12 wide. So if your rug is more than 12 on both dimensions, the carpet binder will need to seam it, which is expensive as duck. Try to keep at least one side 11 or smaller if you can to avoid this. They will usually ask if you want a bound edge or a serged edge. Link for reference. Serging looks better in most cases in my opinion, but is more expensive. Binding can look a little janky, but can save some money if you don't care, and is a good choice for super thick carpets where the pile is going to hide it anyways. Don't bother with backing unless you really want it to be attached. You can get rolls of loose anti-slip backing from the hardware store that you can cut to size and lay the rug on without adhering them together. The one exception is if you have real wood floors. Get a felt back in that case so you don't damage them. Printer ink. Epson EcoTank F3760 changed our lives. Not the world's best color printer, but it gets the job done. I'm shocked I haven't seen college textbooks. That shit is incredibly overpriced here in the US. I haven't thought of those in a few years, but I remember every semester jumping through hoops trying to weasel my way out of paying full price for textbooks. And the people who have replied must not have been in school when online access codes hit the scene. Now every single class has some reason to charge you $120 so you can do your homework. So sure, you bought the 4th edition instead of the 5th and saved $90. But now you have to buy the online code and pay $120 anyways. That shit should be criminal. Any food or beverage sold at a sporting event or concert. And the parking as well. I work at an amusement park that, just this year, started selling alcohol. 9 for a 12 ounce drinkable beverage. 12 for a 16 ounce Bud Light. Their reasoning was, people won't pay those crazy prices to get drunk. They'll have one or two. If they are going to get drunk, they'll do what they always have done and drink in the parking lot beforehand. Now they can buy one in the park to mask their booze breath. To be fair, the number of drunks hasn't changed, and the park is making some extra, much needed cash. Anything that adds on an administrative fee or convenience fee. Why is it an extra $20 to push a button? Susan. Yeah, my apartment tried to do a convince fee to pay rent online at $50. I make it a point to go to administration and handwrite a check. So now they have to send an employee to cash it at the bank. Not so convenient now, is it? Laughing my butt off, I had an independent landlord who would only take money orders from the post office. No personal checks and no way to send money electronically. No way was I waiting in line at the local ridiculously slow PO every month and paying whatever small fee to get a money order. So I paid her in cash every month. She hated it but couldn't find a reason to justify turning down cash. Like, I don't know man, you ran a credit check on me, but if you won't take check or card, oh well. Here's a giant fistful of 20s. I would have paid in all ones until she relented. She wants to inconvenience you. Fine. That's her choice. I did this for 3 months with a landlord once. He only wanted cash and wouldn't let me write a check. So I made a point to paying 2 bills, including the initial damage deposit. He hated it. I learned we use the same bank one day when the teller asked if I was getting the 2 to pay rent. She said the landlord complained so much that it had them all laughing about it, which he hated even more. Not sure if they said anything to him, but the next month he took a check. If the flow of diamonds was not controlled, the cost would drop dramatically. Edit. Wow, I did not expect this many upvotes. Edit. Thanks for the award. 2. The diamond market is such a racket that for a period of years during the late 1990s and early 2000s, De Beers executives were unable to set foot on US soil because they would have been arrested by the Dodge for price fixing. The crooked company eventually agreed to plead guilty and paid over $300 million in fines and settlements. The cost of doing business. Link. Going to the damn dentist. Why is dental insurance different than health insurance? My teeth are not luxury bones I should pay to keep healthy and in my mouth. As a dentist, I wish dental insurance worked like medical insurance. It is not insurance at all. Thank you for admitting this. A few months back I was told I needed a root canal and crown put on a molar. I was then told that with insurance I was still going to be paying over $2,000 for it. Duck that. My boss was all sorts of indignant about, but we provide you with good insurance. There is no dental insurance. What comes out of my salary each year for it is just about the amount that I'm allowed to spend each year on dentistry. Only they get to tell me which services that money can and cannot be put toward. It's not insurance at all. It's a ducking scam. Edit. After doing a ton of research to try and find a dental plan that covered at least part of the cost of major dentistry services and concluding that one simply doesn't ducking exist, I got that bitch pulled for less than 1/10 of what it had cost to save it. And that was also paid 100% out of pocket. Who needs their molars anyway? Bras. Injectable meds for multiple sclerosis. I'm sure it's due to higher construction quality, but outdoor furniture, you either buy cheap that will disintegrate as light breeze blows through your yard as if it was on the wrong end of a Thanos snap, or you sell your house and live on a diamond plated Mars graded 3-piece lounge suite. EpiPens. Glasses for sure. Not just Zenny but Ibua Direct. Pane glasses. Zilul. Etc. I got one pair from Ibua Direct and one from Pane and paid less than 100 overall, and that included shipping. Giving birth and adopting US. And then they wonder why people are waiting longer or simply not having kids at all. Insulin. I'm from third world country and one dose cost 5 here. Why is it so expensive in USA? Just curious, how is it possible that we have it so cheap here and there it's expensive as duck? A guy that went to prison said, let's crank up the price. What are they going to do? Say no. Perfect example of inelastic demand. I will die without this 500 insulin. But I can't afford 500. Silence. So, what you wanna do about it? Prescription glasses. I have convinced everyone I know who wears glasses to buy from online retailers Zenny, I buy direct, etc. The prices are so cheap that it's worth the gamble to try a pair from them. Ask your doctor for your prescription and your pupillary distance PD and plug it into whichever website you want to use. You can have a cheap pair of glasses from Zenny for $15 total. You can't even walk into an optometrist office for $15. Try it and never look back. Medication that requires a prescription. Mattresses. They sell for over 10 times what they cost to manufacture. I worked in the industry for a few decades. The retail is typically double wholesale, and wholesale is typically double manufactured cost. So they sell for about 4 times what it costs to make them. Tampons. Even slightly old Pokemon games. Found my old DS and wanted to relive the old memories, but realized I gave away all my games long ago, so I started searching up copies of Pokemon Emerald as Diamond, and found that an authentic copy of every Pokemon game from X and Y and earlier is worth 80 plus, at least, usually sitting at about 110. That damned company defies everything I know about economics and appreciating value in goods. Hospital fees and dental care. Tip: always ask for a receipt when you pay for healthcare, because it will go down dramatically due to unneeded costs. Emergency media flight. I understand the cost of fuel, wear and tear on the helicopter, as well as the pilot and medical staff, but $5,000 a mile. My ambulance ride to the heliport and ensuing helicopter ride ended up about $250,000. Weddings. Towing fees. Why the duck are those so expensive? What's the breakdown? I live in a small city where a regular towing fee can be over 500 plus. Then, I go to bigger cities and here towing fees can get up to 1,000 plus. How is this even legal for such a minor offense like parking in the wrong spot or parking somewhere too long? Not saying you shouldn't be towed if you're committing that offense. However, bankrupting people just to get their personal property back seems so illegal to me and just downright unethical. It's especially fun when you are legally parked in a spot you paid for and still get towed. Assholes moved my car with their truck and then snapped pics as proof. Took all night to get my car out. Luckily the parking lot reimbursed the tow, but they are ducking thieves. Squeaky toys for dogs. Freaking ate for a taco with one squeaker. Home internet. All of them. They all suck. Rent. We've got a full-blown housing crisis where I live because of tourism. We've got tourists in the houses and locals in the holiday parks. It's ducking crazy. Some villages are 85% holiday cottages. Shit's going to get crazy soon, I think. I predict arson and squatting. Hopefully not at the same time. Train rides in America. Gonna cost me nearly twice as much to take a train across the country and way longer than a flight. I love trains, but they are just not practicable in most of America. Some exceptions around DC area and East Coast. That is what limited investment looks like. Eyeglass frames. They are all made by the same company from the same materials. Even the designer ones. It's all Luxottica. All the way down. Glasses cost about $20 total to make, but they sell them to you for $200. Markup is often 1000%. Link. Beef jerky. I'm jetting real tired of paying $8 for like 3 pieces of jerky and some little scraps.